Hello, my name is Aiden, and I humbly welcome you to Uncovering 404, where we talk about the way social media shapes our lives.
Hey listeners, I'm Ella.
And I'm Monica.
And welcome back. In today's episode, the 3 main points we will uncover for today's topic are the effects of social media addiction, and quitting social media.
Monica, could you tell us some symptoms and effects of prolonged exposure to social media?
Social media has a long list of effects on people, from lowered self-esteem, depression, and in bad cases, even suicide. A study in the UK, led by the Royal Society for Public Health, gave a survey to people from ages 14 to 24, which asked them how social media has affected their lives and general well-being. The results showed that Snapchat, Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter all led to anxiety, loneliness, poor body image, and even an increased feeling of depression. Another study done in 2020 found that social media can link to depression and anxiety because increased time online can cause lack of sleep, extreme peer pressure, and a lack of exercise.
Do you have anything to add to this, Ella?
Yes, I do. Nowadays, teens are occupying themselves after school till bedtime, such as scrolling, texting, sharing, anything that connects to the social media activity. When they are not doing homework, or they are doing homework, they're doing the exact same thing. They are online and on their phones. Before everyone had an Instagram account, teens did keep themselves busy, but they probably did their talking on the phone or even in person when they were hanging out and doing something fun. It may have looked boring when we look back, but they were just testing out skills. Kids today are missing out trying new skills and making mistakes in an endless number of tiny real-life encounters. Teenagers today are learning to communicate through screens rather than in person.
And how do people create this almost inescapable attraction to their social media platforms and video platforms?
Though it's not like drug or alcohol addictions, social media addictions is still a serious topic. Social media addictions can be defined as a person who feels the need to check social media platforms constantly.
But what makes social media so addictive?
Well, when you're doing something you enjoy, your brain releases dopamine. When a person receives a notification or even a like on one of their posts, this could increase their brain's dopamine levels, which as a result makes you feel happier. People find that happiness rewarding, leading to overuse and addiction.
What are some mental problems that can arise from this addiction?
Social media addictions, though it can affect someone's mental health, it can also affect someone's physical health, such as inability to sleep. Some signs of social media addictions include they spend long periods of thinking about or using social media. They use social media as a way to escape personal issues. They find it difficult and become restless without social media, and social media negatively affects their job.
But what if someone chose that they wanted to quit?
Quitting can be difficult, including social media. Quitting entirely is hard. But that's why you should come up with realistic ways to quit without just deleting everything. As mentioned before, notifications can distract you from your task and cause the addiction to grow. So, turning off notifications is a nice and easy way to start. You can, once you feel ready, delete the apps one at a time. Finally, you can find new ways to distract yourself. If you don't find ways to distract yourself, you most likely will end up relapsing when you feel bored.
Any last remarks about quitting, Ella?
When trying to quit social media, some people face problems such as losing track of time, being less in the present, or consuming bland content instead of something healthy. As Monica stated, turning off notifications and deleting the apps can help, but other ways can be logging out of the browser, deleting the account, and removing the bookmarks. Putting on focus mode on your phone tells you it is time to pay attention and get to your work and get it done instead of distracting yourself with social media. To slowly step away from social media, you can limit social media to one device, like using your computer for work and instead of using it for watching movies, scrolling through Instagram, or anything like that. And then when you're finished your work, you can use your phone for social media.
Do you think you could sum it up for some last remarks?
To summarize, social media, though it can seem harmless, it is very easy to become addicted. Make sure you look for the signs in yourself and others.
If you are thinking anyone you know has an addiction to social media, help them out and support them through the quitting process.
Well, that's it from us today. Thank you, Monica and Ella, for your time. I think that was a very crucial and important topic to discuss. I think all of us, in one way or another, have had a similar experience to what you're all talking about. Well, everyone, we'll see you in the next one.
Goodbye!
Today we are joined by a special guest, Miss LaRose, who is the principal at Blythe Academy, The Glebe, Ottawa. Okay, how does social media affect your work?
Obviously, it's always there. It's a distraction for adults. So part of my job as the manager here is to make sure that staff are also not on their cell phones. But the bigger priority is students, making sure that it's not impacting during the school day, that everyone is focused on schoolwork and not social media.
Okay, how do you use social media to promote the school, and has it been effective so far?
So our marketing department is very much in charge and responsible for the social media part of Blythe Academy. We have our Facebook site, but I'm just not very well versed in it, so we don't post very often, and I think that actually has an impact on our visibility within Ottawa. Perhaps if I was more well versed, or I had young guns who want to run our Facebook page, we'd be way, way, way exposed out there.
Okay. Have you considered taking away any students' phones this year?
Not only have I considered it, I've done it. If a student can't manage their phone in class, if self-regulation is not yet there, we do give you the opportunity to figure it out, put it away, get to work. At the end of the day, after only so many chances, though, if it continues to be an issue, then you either have to give it up to a teacher, or some students have had to leave their phones in my office for prolonged periods of time, weeks, as a matter of fact. Works great.
Guilty of doing that. How do you think social media has affected the social dynamics between students?
I don't think it's all positive. I think it's too easy to hide behind a screen. It's too easy to say things that you might not otherwise say if you had to look somebody in the eye to say them. I think it also gives a false sense of reality. So you're seeing all the happy, joyful photos and posts and experiences, but often from my perspective, is they're not really based in reality. It's sort of a false world sometimes, and the people aren't necessarily real.
Okay, how do you think social media is affecting students' learning?
I think it's a huge distraction. I think there can be positives that go along with it, but overall, I think if students are constantly being dinged by somebody who's posting something on some social media platform, how can a student actually concentrate on what the teacher is trying to teach? Students learn to be distracted because they're never able to fully focus if their phones are on with them.
Okay, have you noticed any lack of social skills or learning skills from students due to the use of social media?
100%, especially coming back off of COVID, where everyone lived on their phone. That was the social network. Bringing students back in person as adults, we noticed a significant lack of social skills. Students forgot how to look each other in the eye and sit beside each other on a couch and just chit chat and laugh and have fun. Everything was heads down looking at a cell phone. It was actually a little bit scary. I think we're sort of moving back towards a bit more of a norm, but it's definitely an easy out. Kids don't have to socialize because they can stare at a screen.
Okay, and the last and final question. So recently, the Ministry of Education has implied a banning the use of mobile phones in school. How do you feel about the new regulation, and are you going to implement the law in this school?
I strongly believe that we have to teach each of you how to self-regulate. And if we remove your cell phones entirely, then how do we teach you how to self-regulate? My fervent hope is that, much like this year, we give you the opportunity to have your cell phone on you, but put it away. And if it's an issue, you have one shot to regulate that, after which your phone stays in here with me. There's no way for us to teach you how to use it for good if we have to confiscate it and police it every day. That said, we do operate under the Ministry of Education, so there has to be, I have to be very cognizant that it's a law that I need to abide by. But I do feel like I want you to have the tools that your future employers are going to expect you to know how to use properly.
Perfect. Thank you so much.